Wow.
So
So now would you say, from, I mean, being in such an integral part of the MAC Charter, when you look back, and when you look now at where we are in 2020, would you say the MAC Charter with its intention is being applied correctly?
no, because you still have the haves and the have-nots.
Yeah.
And the haves happen to be investors. The have-nots happen to be the employees. And that's
Yes.
not what we intended. What we intended was for the employees to have equal opportunity, especially in an industry that was largely owned by international conglomerates. We wanted South Africans to own the ad industry that it influences and participates in. And we wanted Black South Africans to have equal opportunity to participate economically in the industry. But that's not happening.
But what's going wrong, Odette? You know, I think, you know, I'm in a lot of these conversations, and what I want to find out, I mean, is from the intention of the MAC Charter and what you set out to do, to fast forward to 2020, what do you think went wrong, and why do you think your original plan is not being implemented? Because it sounds like a beautiful plan.
Well, it was a good plan, and it remains a good plan. The problem is when people don't want to transform and they look for loopholes in their BE audits, right? So they bring in people of color for the letterhead. I've personally experienced being used for a transformation agenda. I'm sure many of our colleagues will attest to the fact that we go into pitches, we call to be that face transformation. So that's what's gone wrong. The intention of those who sit with equity is not to part with it in an authentic and meaningful way. And until that changes, there will never be real meaningful transformation. We will still have the haves and the have-nots, or the nouveau riche and the have-nots. And that's unfortunately what the situation is. Real and meaningful transformation means take 51% of your company and give it to the people working in your company who are of color.
Wow.
And they will remain loyal, and they will, you know, then we don't start talking about bonuses and should we give staff increases. Then we're talking about giving dividends. When people have a vested interest in the company, I assure you, every MBA textbook will teach you about a balanced scorecard, right? When you have the right people doing the right things in your business, you have happy customers. Happy customers are paying customers. Paying customers generate profit. Profit generates dividends. Full stop.
Wow, that is so profound. And I mean, I would love to, you know, I was speaking to a friend, a female friend in the industry, and she was saying, you are Black and you understand what that means in the industry. Now, being Black and female is like being Black twice, you know. So take now, what you're experiencing. Now I'm a female. Your experience as a female in the industry, I mean, you've been in the industry for quite a long time. Your experience as a female, do you think that statement is true, that being Black is one thing? Now imagine being a Black female.
I'll give you one up on that.
Yeah.
Try being a Black female with the name Odette van der Haar. That makes a whole other complicated dynamic. When people read your name, they make an assumption. When people meet me, they realize, oh, that assumption is not correct. And then all of a sudden, I get treated very differently. Right? So that's the first issue that I've encountered in my journey. The second part of the journey is that as females, we are required to work twice as hard as our male counterparts. for validation.
Wow.
And then even harder as a female of color for a voice. And that is the problem, not just in the ad industry. I was speaking to a leading marketer in the industry, and she sits at a multinational, a huge multinational. And she says that, she said to me the other day, Odette, I thought that results would be enough.
Mm.
And that
Wow.
statement almost had me in tears. It reminded me of, you know, when we were at school and we were required to speak in a specific way. We were living two lives, you know, the life you at school and then the life at home kind of thing. And how hard you had to work at school to be the right kind of person, to be accepted by your peers, you know. And now we go from the classroom into the C-suite and we're back in the same environment where you've got to work so very, very hard just to be validated, just to be accepted as a peer. And then over and above that, to have a voice you've earned through very hard work. Remember, some of us represent 0.1% of our communities, right?
Wow. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
I often ask myself, are we then genuinely the peers of those who have the same designations as what we have?
Wow. Wow.
I don't
wow.
know.
I remember. I remember. It's Jamie Foxx that says that in a comedy that, you know, he's Jamie Foxx and he lives in this neighborhood, and the guy down the white guy down the road is just a dentist, you know. So he had he had to be Jamie Foxx here, and you know So you know, you worked for very big organizations, and you've held very senior positions, and now I know you're a very frank person. Do those organizations take transformation seriously?
Oh, absolutely, for their scorecard. Because without a level 1 triple BE certificate, new business becomes a real big challenge. So for the purpose of new business, absolutely. From the purpose of authenticity, absolutely not. We've got a long way to go, because remember, large multinationals report into New York, London, Paris, wherever. They don't understand. I had this debate one day with one of my global colleagues, and I said, when you go to Japan, the people are what? Japanese, right? Yeah,
Japanese, yeah.
What other people do you find in Japan that are born and bred in Japan other than Japanese? Right. When you come to South Africa, we have 11 official languages, people. We have all kinds of shades of everything. Okay? It's not so simple, black and white.
Yeah.
And until you understand that this is who we are authentically, I think I represent a South African pretty well, because I come from a direct mix of black and white on both parents' side, but not just black and white. I got Tswana and German and Indian and colored and Sotho and you name it. So I remember saying to my husband when I was pregnant a number of years ago, hey, I wonder what this child's going to look like, because the child can look like Gogo Regina.
It can go anywhere.
Exactly. It could look like Robert von Schenk, you know, the German. Or it could look like, you know, Michael Roper, the Britishman. But my point is that this is who we are. We're a blended mix of cultures. And everybody should be accepted. Everybody should be given an opportunity based on their credentials.
Yeah.
That's it. Not based on the color of their skin. And this includes like your blackness, how black you are. You know, it's got to be, guys, this person has been in the industry X number of years. This person has so much experience. This person, and this person is evaluated based on their credentials. Why is it that if Veli makes a mistake, then all black people are useless.
Mm, 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 mm. So
Why
like
are we
a
judged by
blanket
different
thing.
standards? Yes. We're
Mm.
judged by different standards. We're not judged for our credentials or our experience or our humanness.
Now there's this, it's so profound you say that. And again, a very close friend of mine says to me, sometimes I hold a very senior position, but sometimes I just feel that I'm there because I'm black. And it makes me start doubting. You know, I've got an MBA, I've got all these things, but sometimes I just feel like I'm a tick on a scorecard. Is that a
Yep.
general feeling in these organizations?
Yep. Yes.
And yeah?
Yes. I mean, I've been told that women should know their place. I've been told that my frankness is obstinate. Wow. I've been told a woman should never cry in my presence because women use their tears to manipulate. Wow. Imagine that. In 2020, to hear somebody say that to a woman. No, I was like, okay, so what am I that you're telling me this? Like, all right. You know, I've sat in meetings where I heard that, you know, the biggest problem in South Africa is the lack of talent because all the white people are immigrating. So I'm like, and so then what are we who are left behind? What are you trying to say? Are you saying that the good talent in general are immigrating, or are you saying the white people who are the talent are leaving, therefore you're left with rubbish talent? That's the view. That was the view of one of my global colleagues. And I was like, okay, so that's the perspective of a New York, London, Paris, for example, in a multinational. So you ask me, do I think that they're serious? I don't even think they understand the transformation agenda, let alone being serious about it beyond just the scorecard, you know?
Wow.
And again, it comes to the same thing. Hashtag all lives matter, hashtag Black Lives Matter. Of course, all lives matter. But right now, the black ones are burning. So that needs attention, and that needs to be addressed.
Wow. So when you compare the industry to when you began, to fast forward 2020, would you say anything has changed? I mean, what has changed over those years?
Some things have changed. I think the biggest change that I see is the divide between the haves and the have-nots.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm getting really, really irritated with social media at the moment, you know, where I see some people I've encountered in my career liking the Black Lives Matter commentary and sharing that. But I know these people authentically in their core are saying, I'm not racist. And for me, that's not enough. You need to say, I'm anti-racism. Then we're on the same page, right? And it's not always about, sorry, forgive my dog. He loves to join my...
saying hi.
Whenever he sees me, he joins, you know?
You must open an account for him.
You know, the other day I was on a Zoom call and he was right there. It hasn't jumped up to see who I'm talking to.